What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I am your host, the Ranting Monkey. He, the co-host, Jack Cochran. Jack, say hi.
Hi.
And tonight, we're here to embarrass ourselves and probably you.
We do that every night.
I know. But I'm trying to be honest with everybody.
Oh, that's fair.
You know, I'm an honest guy. Let's see. I've been off YouTube all day. What's up? God, I don't know. I wasn't on the internet very much today, to be honest with you.
I wasn't either. My power went out last night. It didn't come back on until about 9:30 today.
Damn. I'd have been bored as hell.
Yeah, I kind of was.
I don't know what Nuts is talking about there. Saw one in a video one time. Looked like he'd been weightlifting his whole life. I don't know who that is, but they must have been jacked up. All right, then. Oh, man. I don't know how to even bring this up. Because that video you sent me has annoyed the shit out of me.
I know. I hesitated sending it to you, but
I'm glad you did. Because this is the kind of thing I think people need to see. I think when you're talking about these tolerant left motherfuckers, you should see what kind of dirty shit they do. Can I make this full screen? I can indeed. To let you guys know, this is from Villain Phoenix. Just exactly how you think it would be spelled over on Twitch. He's the one that recorded this. He's not the one who did it. He's the one that recorded it. And what we're about to watch is the riots down there in Portland. This is Portland, right?
Yeah, it's Portland.
Yeah, that's where he's at. He's at Portland. They've been rioting and destroying this building here and other shit. This is the crowd. This is a child that this cunt brought to try to keep the police from using things like tear gas on the rioters.
Yeah, real quick, I want to thank Heroic Nico and Karamon and the guys over at Eyes On for this, because I didn't see this live. They told me about it, and they were nice enough to give me links to the video. So we got this because of those guys.
Thanks, gentlemen, and let's just watch. That's a little child they brought to a riot in the middle of the night.
You guys see the baby, right? The baby?
And he's trying to get the police attention, let them know that there's a baby here. I've been disgusted by these shitheads many times, but never as bad as it is when I saw that shit.
Yeah. I think the footage was actually filmed by Trey Stewart, and everybody's just passing it around. That doesn't sound like Villain.
Whoever it is, this is on Phoenix's channel, though.
Yeah.
So, fuck.
That's disgusting. I was enraged. The fact that this actually occurred, like, we've seen people joke about this sort of thing, but to actually have a kid in the middle of one of these disaster areas, like, he even says, like, this is a really dangerous place. What are you doing?
Yeah, there's the link if anybody wants to see it. Did Child Protective Services get called? I have no idea.
Well, according to Eyes On's chat, a lot of Villain Phoenix's and somebody else's chat were saying they're calling CPS. And I know the cops had to have seen it. They're all over the place over there. So there are people aware of it. Hopefully they find the footage.
You do not use your child as a fucking shield.
No.
Not metaphorically and certainly not literally, you fucking horrible bitch. That baby should be at home sleeping. Yeah. Even if there weren't things like tear gas that are a real possibility with that shitty crowd there, why would you have that baby there at all?
Right?
Yeah, I don't imagine anything happened to her because nobody knows her name. Even if you called CPS, what are you going to do? There was a lady in really ugly pants with her baby out there. You keep your kids safe. You would think so. You think that would be the idea, but no. She brought her baby out there, and she did that shit on purpose.
Of course
She didn't do that because she didn't have a babysitter.
No, that's sick virtue signaling.
Chris said she brought the baby looking for a new father. No.
She's looking for the daddy for the next one.
If she did that, at least I'd have more respect for her. She did this, like, they'll never shoot at us with a kid out here. And remember, we're not talking about actual shooting either. They'll never gas us with a kid out here. We can be as shitty as we want. They said to promote peace. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to promote peace? Go the fuck home.
Get your kid away from a bunch of creepy weirdos and hobos. Come on. You're putting yourself right in the line of fire. Let your kid do that's so enraging.
Yeah, and again, it's not even just what the police might do. We've seen these crowds. Yeah. Can you imagine if the police just move forward a little bit, no gas at all, and that crowd starts to run and knocks her over?
Yeah, that kid would get trampled to death. Apparently, somebody got seriously hurt. There was a big blood splash on the ground, and some kid supposedly got messed up over by the 7-Eleven.
Mm.
And the stories are pretty wild about what exactly happened. Like, they're dive tackling people now.
I tuned in last night just in time to see they had just shot some tear gas.
Oh, yeah?
And there's this one bitch just whining. Oh, my God, they got me. I'm like, did you get hit? Do you need what? Oh, my God, I can't believe they did that. For like 10 minutes, man. Just would not shut the fuck up.
Naturally.
And then we got to see Arix on Nicole's stream. Arix apparently got kicked off of Facebook yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
At least temporarily, yes. For promoting violence.
Oh, there's a shocker. Have you heard the shit that comes out of that girl's mouth?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have.
Whew.
These are a bunch of goddamn degenerates. Why would you have your children anywhere near them?
I don't know. I don't know why anybody bows to these people. This capitulation shit's got to end, especially putting kids in danger. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, we should be surprised by this.
You know,
I'm really not, but
I didn't think even these shitbags would stoop that low. Now, look, there's a line you don't cross, and what kind of shithead thinks, I know, to keep the police from doing anything, I'm going to bring a child to a protest in the middle of the night. And that's me being nice, calling it a protest rather than the riot that it actually is.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. I heard that Ken and Karen defending their home from a mob got arrested today. Did they finally get arrested?
I know they served I think the Fed served a search warrant on their house. I think they did get arrested though.
They served a search warrant on Friday and took the gun that Ken had. Karen's gun was already kind of turned over. She had turned it over to her lawyer. So they probably got it from him. Last I'd heard, they hadn't actually been arrested yet. Because that was everybody like, you guys haven't charged them with anything. What the fuck are you doing taking their guns? But I guess they figured out something to charge them with. Like, you weren't nice to the people who broke into your private area there, who were talking shit and coming up on you. I heard I saw a guy on Twitter yesterday. They never won on a property. Like, motherfucker, they were standing on the grass. You can tell there's some people who are like, no, come on, guys, let's just keep walking. The ones they should have listened to in the first place. Hazmat, thank you. They should have equipped with those ballistic shields with a high flash bang looking light to push them. And no, I'm not talking about blitz shield. No, they just run at them and they take off running. It's funny as shit. They're a bunch of pussies. And then if they don't listen when that happens, which, I mean, they listen a little bit. They'll run a little further down the street. And then when they don't break up, they gas them, which is kind of funny. The DA did say she was going after that couple. She did, but I didn't see them being arrested. So let's see. St. Louis couple. What is this? Portland Place couple who confronted protesters have long history of not backing down. Dun dun dun.
So did Tom Petty. That doesn't mean anything,
right? When Black Lives Matter protesters marched up Kings Highway on June 28th and turned through an iron gate into the magnificent private street of Portland Place, they encountered a couple who have for years nearly consistently sued other people and ordered people off their property. It's private property.
Yeah, you're allowed to do that.
Stay the fuck off their property. Personal injury attorney, and it's not like it's just some random yard you walked through. There's a fucking gate or fence around it with an iron gate. You have to try to get on their property.
That's a hate fact. Just because there were signs there doesn't mean anybody read it.
Personal injury attorneys Mark and Patricia McCloskey became instant national figures when they intercepted protesters. Intercepted? Is that what they did? Intercepted to me means like they would get in front of them and not let them pass.
Yeah.
Intercepted protesters marching past their marble-faced plazo at One Portland Place, aimed guns at them and demanded they get out. America saw the story they wanted to see. Some saw respected professionals fearing for their safety, reasonably exercising their Second Amendment rights to defend their home from violent trespassers. Others saw an overwrought, older, affluent couple recklessly pointing their weapons and asserting their white privilege. That's retarded. But public records and interviews reveal a fuller picture than emerged 2 weeks ago. They show the McCloskeys are almost always in conflict with others, typically over control of private property, what people can do on that property, and whose job it is to make sure they do it. They filed a lawsuit in 1988 to obtain their house. They had to sue to get their house?
I don't know. That's the first I've heard about it.
A castle built for Adolphus Bush's daughter and her husband during St. Louis's brief run as a world-class city in the early 20th century. Thank you, Hazmat, who said also the police should wear those HRT FBI uniforms. Don't worry, they're pretty decked out when they go out there. At the McCloskey's property in Franklin County, they have sued neighbors for making changes to a gravel road and twice in just over 2 years evicted tenants from a modular home on their property. So?
The evicted tenants, who cares? The gravel road thing was probably one of those dumbass HOA things. Never live in a place with a homeowners association. They're fucking awful.
Mark also sued his former employer for wrongful termination and his sister, father, and his father's caretaker for defamation. The McCloskeys have filed at least 2 quiet title suits asserting squatter rights on lands they've occupied openly and hostilely, their terms, and claimed as their own in an ongoing suit against Portland Place trustees and to who cares? None of this matters.
None of it's relevant to what happened. It's not like they have a history of like pointing guns at people or anything.
Yeah, but I'm still not seeing anything about these guys being arrested. So, yeah. The warrant that was served on Friday afternoon, that was just for the gun. They went in and took his AR-15. So now if you're a protester in that area, they're not armed. Supposedly they'd hired private security, so I still wouldn't walk up on them.
Yeah, I think they're going to get railroaded on this.
Yeah, you ever... You think it's really a good idea for these assholes to... The entirety of the media tell everybody, hey, guys, they're unarmed now?
Well, the media doesn't care. The more blood, the better.
Yeah. It was clearly a defensive move to deter potential intruders. It was to keep them the fuck away. Get off our lawn. Get the fuck out of here. You don't belong here. It's a private. We're on the sidewalk. Those assholes said that. Like, you had to break a fucking wrought iron gate to get on that sidewalk. You knew you weren't supposed to be there. We're just cutting through to get to the mayor's house. Walk around, bitch. I hate these people, man. I hate them. By the way, that story I just read is one of about 15 that popped up when I searched for them. All about that same thing, about how they've sued people before.
Oh, yeah, they're spreading this crap far and wide because they can control the narrative then.
Thank you, Virgil, who says, they think it's weird that a lawyer sues people. I know. A personal injury lawyer, no less.
Right? Like the most ambulance chaser version of a lawyer.
Uh-huh.
That's like double degenerate.
Yeah, it's, man.
I mean, these are the same people that whine that these lights to go and not walk are racist because it's a white man walking, you know?
Yeah.
And they're upset that a lawyer sued somebody. Give me a fucking break.
Well, our press was obsessed with something else today, Jack.
Oh, yeah?
Donald Trump wore a mask in public.
So they've been bitching he doesn't wear masks in public.
You know
See,
why?
I take one day off. The whole world falls apart.
You know why he wore a mask? He went to Walter Reed Hospital.
That's a damn good reason to wear a mask.
Yeah. And they're all like, oh my God, he's wearing a mask. If he'd have done this, if he'd have done this sooner, it would have saved lives.
No,
who did he infect?
Yeah, is he running around coughing on people?
Thank you, Joe. How long before the purge comes to fruition? 3 years? You know, I want to try to say his last name. Pessendorfer? Did I say that right? I kind of like that last name, Pessendorfer. That sounds like a name out of, like, The Hobbit.
Only cool.
Yeah, like a good one, not a bad one.
No, not a Hobbit name.
No. Somebody they run into along the way.
Yeah, on their walk to get married.
On their long walk. Purge. I think we're already there, man.
It's creeping up there. I don't know, man.
It's close. It's real close. Thank you for the donation. By the way, guys, we are brought to you by you. If you enjoy what you're hearing, hit that like button. Hit the share. We haven't said anything that you should be ashamed of yet. Yet. And throw money at Jack. He's a good person. His link is down below, and it's been going through the chat. Unfortunately, you can only link to, or not link, what's the word? Donate. You can only donate to him through the Streamlabs, which, by the way, is a great way to do it.
Indeed.
Yeah, they made a whole big deal. Trump wore a mask. If he had done this sooner, other people would have wore the masks.
No, they wouldn't have.
Look, again, I am not in favor of forced masks. I still wear a mask when I go outside.
Yeah.
Not at home, but like if I'm going into public, I wear a fucking mask. Is it going to protect me? No. But in the odd chance that I have it, I'm happy to do my part not to spread it, Which has absolutely fuck all to do with whether or not the president does. Nothing to do with him. They think all the citizens are kids. What? I'm confused by that. Although I think there's a whole lot of them that are grown up. I was telling him yesterday, Jack, about that 40-year-old we saw Villain Phoenix interviewing.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck are you doing out there with all those kids? He's trying to pick up a young girl. He was.
Yeah, he's out there trying to bang some 20-year-old.
Yeah, he's out there to be like, hey, baby, I believe in everything. What do you believe in? Yeah, I believe in all that shit, too.
Yeah, fighting the power.
Come back to my house, smoke a bowl, and get naked. And there's young, dumb women who will fall for that. And then next year, she'll have a baby she can bring out.
Yeah.
And he'll be in a different area. Miles said, did anyone hear about that BLM shooting?
Yeah.
No. What happened?
I'll drop you a link, Monkey. It's fucking massively annoying.
Scribe did tell me about a video he was watching. That's reportedly right from after the shooting of that 16-year-old and the 14-year-old there in Chop, where on the video you can hear the, perpetrators saying, make sure you pick up all the shell or all the casings.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, shocking. We know they did it. We fucking know they did it. And nothing will be done because none of those shitheads who want justice for dead black people care about the dead black kid. Young white mother killed by Black Lives Matter mob for allegedly saying all lives matter. What? For real? 24-year-old mother was killed by a Black Lives Matter mob in Indianapolis last week, allegedly for saying all lives matter. Unlike Charlottesville or any violence from the right, this killing was reported so quietly that barely anyone noticed. Yeah, no shit. I'd have talked about it. Jessica Doty Whitaker was shot and killed following an altercation with Black Lives Matter thugs who were upset that she and her fiance had said all lives matter last Sunday. Quote, according to the victim's family, the shooting started with an argument over Black Lives Matter and language. Eventually, the two sides separated and walked away from each other until witnesses claimed the killer opened fire from a nearby bridge and ran away. It was squashed and then went up the hill and left, we thought, but they were sitting on St. Clair waiting for us to come up the bridge, and that's when she got shot, the victim's fiance, Jose Ramirez, told the station. That's fucked up.
It's getting worse, man.
Her grandfather posted on Facebook that multiple black assailants shot her in the head. Why isn't anybody outraged by this, he asked in the post. Is it the BLM was involved, or is it the young white adults that were the victims? Whitaker leaves behind a 3-year-old son.
Yeah, it's piss off monkey night, apparently.
The fuck, man?
I don't know.
What the fuck? Now, this is the one I'm not surprised by, Jack. That bitch being dirty enough to take her kid to the Portland riot, that one surprised me. This one, that doesn't surprise me at all. How many people have we seen actually beaten either to death or near to death in these riots, and they're like, so? They don't care at all. Way too many. Way too many. Man. That's it's a 3-year-old kid's not going to grow up with his mom because they had the nerve to say all lives matter. Because they got into an argument with these assholes. And they shot her ass.
Yep. And if you think this won't create more racial division in the country, I don't know what to tell you.
Now, Jack, maybe it's just me, but her fiance's last name was Ramirez. What do you think the chances are they purposefully shot at the white girl instead of the Latino?
100%.
It's fucking disgusting. This is fucking disgusting.
These people are, man, I'm telling you, they got to start cracking down on these people.
You know, Jack, we just heard, because we were both over on Eyes On stream right before this.
Yeah.
And Villain Phoenix was explaining to people the difference between the left and the right. He said that the left are nicer. The left are nice. You think that 3-year-old's going to think that about the left as he grows older?
No, he's not.
The left are nice. Someone have that article? I'll pull it up again.
I got the link right here because it just
Cool.
sent someone else.
Did you drop it in there?
Yeah, I got it.
Thank you, sir. He then went on to say that the right uses more facts, because he did say the left doesn't use facts. He said they don't use facts, but they're nicer, which is weird because he's been covering this shit for weeks.
Yeah.
He's seen what they do.
And I think that guy's getting more red pilled by the second, too.
Then he said the right uses facts, but they're mean. And you know what he means by that? You know what he means by that? He means that the left won't drop an N-bomb, but somebody on the right might. That's what he means by being mean and being nice.
Yeah. To a lot of these stupid idiots, being mean is like not using someone's preferred pronoun or something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He was getting followed earlier because there are people that think he's like a right winger. He says he's center right, which he needs to stop saying out in these crowds.
Yeah.
He's gonna get freaking murdered out there. And I think he's one of the best ones out here. He's talking to people and asking them questions. And he's doing a reasonably good job compared to some of the others. But this lady followed him because he was out by the 7-Eleven where this one incident happened. And she recognized him and told someone to stop talking to him. And then she followed him. And then her and her friends were waiting for him at the end of the block.
Jesus.
So, yeah, he's been recognized a couple times. But, yeah, I mean, if I were him, I think it'd be time to pack it in.
Mr. Hughes said, you're assuming that guy knew how to aim a gun, Monk. I have no doubt in this case that they aimed for the white chick. Remember, they had time to just sit up there and aim. And with that, this is the kind of thing that if I was villain, I'd be worried about.
Yeah.
They're Now, I told you Trey got recognized yesterday. That was funny as fuck. So this was actually a more right-leaning protest, and then there were just a handful of counter-protesters in Springfield, Oregon, which, by the way, I don't know where it's at, but it looks like a pretty tiny town, actually.
That one surprised me.
And this is the one, guys, where some chick yelled out, "How much are the library fees in Springfield?" What?
What does that mean?
You're here for the library fees?
Do you have overdue books or something?
How long did you keep that book?
Right?
Can
I donate some canned goods?
But Trey's bouncing back and forth between the left and the right, spending most of his time over on the right side. And somebody recognized him. And they're talking a little bit and like, I recognize your voice. Were you the guy that was there at the shooting? And he's like, yeah, that was me. And he goes, you owe this guy an apology. You said some shit that wasn't right. And he's like, and you could hear him like shit himself. Like just, there was almost an audible plop at that moment. But they just talked to him. And then he starts walking away and he stops himself and he turns around and he apologized to the guy. He goes, if I did that, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, kind of. When he went to leave the first time, one of the guys said, be careful out there. So he says he went back because they said, be careful out there. And he was really worried they were going to find him and beat him up. It's like, you have the wrong side for that, dickhead.
Yeah.
If they wanted to beat you up, they'd have beat his ass right there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when he first did it, I was like, oh, that's good on him. And then he said that shit. I'm like, you fucking pussy. Yeah, but you should have heard his voice. Like, It was so funny.
I missed a lot yesterday.
You really did. Yesterday is when Trump commuted Roger Stone's sentence. And when I was watching over, I don't know if you caught it, but some girl over on Eyes On stream, whatever he was listening to at the time, yelled out, if Roger Stone can, what was it? If Roger Stone can commit crime, so can we.
Seriously?
Yeah, she yelled that out.
Wow.
Like, no, bitch. See, the thing here is whatever crime you might have think Roger Stone committed, that investigation shit shouldn't have been going on at that point anyway. And the shit they got him on was so bullshit. Like, part of their evidence against him is that he was making jokes on Twitter.
That is a thought crime nowadays.
That was used to show he was intimidating witnesses. Yep. And
I was over at my buddy's house yesterday, and he was telling me that somebody's been changing George Orwell's Wikipedia page. Is there a level of irony there that I'm not getting? Because it sounds pretty fucking ironic.
sounds pretty normal these days, doesn't it? I mean, I get the irony of it being Orwell, but I mean, this has been happening all over Wikipedia.
Well,
Wikipedia used to be actually a decent place to go. You might not get all the facts, but it would at least point you in the right direction, you know?
yeah, now it's just a hotbed of leftism.
Stone did everything wrong. Stone didn't do shit wrong.
I think he responded poorly, is what he's trying to say. Maybe. I don't know. I don't like Stone, but it doesn't look like he did anything like what they're saying.
That guy's a douchebag, and those glasses and that hat he wears makes him look like a fucking Disney villain.
Yeah, it does.
He looks like the guy from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Fuck, what's his name? He played the Doctor in Back to the Future.
Yeah, he played Doc Brown. Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd, yes. He looks like that. It's like, dude, that's creepy. Stop it. But being an asshole and being creepy isn't a crime.
Well, isn't it?
These days. So Wikipedia is ran by far left retards. Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised the stuff that gets left up there and the changes that are made immediately, even if they're true about the wrong person. Yeah. Just wait. One day we'll read on there that Ghislaine didn't actually kill herself when she obviously did. I know she's not dead yet, you guys. I'm just, getting ahead of the curve here.
Yeah, she's going to get sad.
Did you see she came out and said she was not hiding from authorities. She was hiding from the press. Stop it.
I think she's hiding from assassins.
Yeah, she's hiding from Hillary. She's like, Also, Bill pardoned his brother. But there is a difference between Bill pardoning his brother and Trump commuting the sentence here. Because this sentence came specifically, from an investigation of Trump. And with them saying that he was intimidating witnesses. I'm very curious. With him intimidating witnesses, that witness, didn't he answer all your questions? And you still didn't get anything on the underlying bullshit you were supposed to be looking into?
That does not matter. It's because they didn't get anything.
Oh, yeah. They went after anybody they could because they didn't get anything. You're right. That's the only reason they went after Cohen.
Yeah.
It's because they had nothing on Trump. They're like, we got to get something here. We can't have wasted everybody's time. You have that backwards monk. She won't kill herself. She'll get sad. Oh, I'm sure she's getting sadder by the moment.
Yeah.
It's reported that she has video of, some very high-ranking people in our country, whether in politics, entertainment, different fields, in compromising positions with children.
If she's smart, she's got that on a dead man switch. So if anything happens to her, it gets released automatically.
If she was smart, she'd release it now.
Yeah, probably. But I don't think she's going to.
If she does have that, I bet she's trying to work out a deal.
Yeah.
Be like, I'll give you this, but you got to let me go. Or, at least put me in a prison with a 24-hour feed on me so people can watch live. But yeah, supposedly one of her friends has gone to the press and said that they've not only does she have these videos, but that friend has seen them. It includes a lot of big names and them having sex, not only with them having sex with these young girls, but having threesomes with these young girls.
Jesus.
And they didn't even get a part in a movie. Well, I guess they did, but
not the kind of movie you want to be in.
Right. I hope she has it. I want these fuckers to fry, all of them.
Yeah, I do too, but I don't have faith that's going to happen.
Me neither. I think that even if she does have the tapes, the government will be like, no.
Yeah, they're going to cover for all the politicians. So all that stuff got thrown in the ocean and is long forgotten about. Real quick, thank you, Evolved Potato. This is from an article on the Stone jurors. It emerged that the U.S. District Judge Amy Berman Jackson had denied a defense request to strike a potential juror on the case, who was an Obama-era press official with admitted anti-Trump views.
I hadn't seen any of the stuff about this juror. People have talked about it a lot, and I had stuff sent to me, but I still haven't had a chance to read it.
Oh, I got another one here from him. Thank you, Evolved Potato. That juror's husband worked at the same Justice Department division that handled the probe leading to Stone's prosecution. If that's true, that is total misconduct.
This is an article from February 12th. Roger Stone jury foreperson's anti-Trump social media post surfaced after she defends DOJ prosecution. Former Memphis School Board President Tamika Hart revealed Wednesday that she was the foreperson on the jury that convicted former Trump advisor Roger Stone on obstruction charges last year, and soon afterwards, her history of Democratic activism and a string of her anti-Trump left-wing social media posts came to light. Hart even posted specifically about the Stone case before she was selected to sit on the jury. Ooh.
Oh, Jesus.
As she retweeted an argument mocking those who considered Stone's dramatic arrest in a pre-dawn raid by a federal tactical team to be excessive force. She also suggested President Trump and his supporters are racist and praised the investigation conducted by Robert Mueller, which ultimately led to Stone's prosecution. Now, there's links here. I wonder if her Twitter's still up. Oh, it is. This was somebody else. This is what she tweeted, apparently. Let's show it, shall we? Then stop being racist. Co-signing and defending a racist and his racist rhetoric makes you a racist, point blank. Wow. Well, when was this posted? August 2nd of 2019. I don't know when the trial was.
I don't remember.
Excuse me. While it emerged that U.S. District Judge Amy Berman Jackson had denied a defense request to strike a potential juror who was an Obama-era press official with admitted anti-Trump views and whose husband worked at the same Justice Department division that handled the probe. Are you kidding? And another Stone juror, Seth Cousins, donated to former Democratic presidential candidate Beto O'Rourke and other progressive causes. Federal elections reviews showed. The revelations came as Trump is... What the fuck? Yeah, this should have been thrown out immediately.
Yeah.
As soon as this shit came to light. The fuck was that judge thinking?
I don't know, man. But good job, Evolved Potato, for letting us know.
I wonder if that's why this was commuted and not a pardon. Because with it being commuted, he can still, he's still technically been found guilty of it. He can still appeal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
I would hope he could. That's bullshit.
Yeah, you can't. No, I'm sorry. I read an article on this a couple days back, yesterday, I guess, right as this was breaking. And it said both defense and prosecution got to strike people as they wanted.
Apparently that's not true.
Well, even if it's true, that's only of the stuff that they'll admit to. You have to ask the right question, you know? Have you ever posted negatively about Donald Trump being a racist? I wonder if that came up. Anyhow, wow. Yeah, that's horrible. A pardon is an admission of guilt. Not necessarily. It just means that if you did do anything wrong, it doesn't matter. You can still proclaim your innocence all you like. Let's see. It's a mad, mad world, Jack.
I noticed that. It's getting dumber too.
It really is, and it's annoying me.
Oh, Mattis said the trial began on November 6th.
Oh yeah, so she posted that before the trial. Damn.
Wow. Yeah, she shouldn't have been on that jury.
No. And as soon as that was found out, especially if that was found out during the trial, she should have been struck.
Yeah,
in a heartbeat.
Well, she was the foreman. They probably could have called a mistrial.
That's 3 jurors that was in that article with clear anti-Republican bias. Get rid of them. Sorry. Let's see. This was one that just kind of hurt my brain a little, Jack. A Dr. Jessica Taylor, who claims to be a doctor of, what was it again? Forensic psychology.
Oh,
I don't even know what that is.
got me.
She's also a feminist psychologist.
Oh, strike one.
She's founder of Victim Focus, Proud Working Class, and she's slaying it. She also wrote a book called Why Women Are Blamed for Everything. She must watch this show. Remember, I blame women for the fall of society, but it's men's fault. But she had this to say, Jack. Oh, man. Oh, excuse me. I got to yawn first. I took my pills right before the show, and they're starting to kick in a little bit. There's no fucking mystery around why so many women and girls don't realize they are lesbians till much later on in life, considering how little lesbian representation there is anywhere. Really noticing the gap, adverts, media, plots, advice, products, role models, fuck all. Lesbians don't realize they're lesbians until they see other lesbian on advertisements.
So what came first, the carpet or the munch? Because
you think
you have to have a beginning lesbian to have demonstrated the lesbianics to the other potential lesbians.
Maybe she was watching TV and a woman fell on another woman and she's like, oh, I want to fall on a woman. Maybe that's how it started.
I guess. I don't know. It seems so stupid. Like,
yeah,
that's something that like Riley Dennis would say, that if you don't have sex with them, you're a bigot.
Well, it's actually the kind of thing that the side of the argument that says that this is that homosexuality is nurture rather than nature would make.
Yeah.
If you're born this way, you just want to lick a puss. If you have to see it first, that means you can actually force people to be gay by showing it to them enough.
Which would mean that you could unlearn that behavior then. Uh-oh. Somebody better get word to Mike Pence.
They don't realize they're lesbians until they see them.
Well,
there's a lot of lesbianism shown on TV these days.
Yeah. And they're all over the place. Marvel Comics, like half of all women at least are gay.
Homosexuals are way represented in entertainment now. They just are.
Yeah.
Because they make up a small portion of the population, and they're like at least a quarter of characters these days. There's got to be a gay guy in every show. But apparently it specifically has to be a lesbian for women to go, oh, I can have same-sex relations.
Oh, so the bis don't count?
I don't know how they figure it out. There's not very many bisexual representations on TV. The only one I can think of is Willow, and she wasn't actually bisexual. She was with a guy, and then she became a lesbian.
He made her gay.
He made her gay.
He must have made her watch lesbian porn, and she's like, I'm one of the gays.
Well, in fairness, he was a werewolf, so he wasn't really a dude. She was fucking a dog for a while.
Well, that just meant doggy style.
And then she got into puss. She went from dog to cat.
Oh, yeah.
Pincalo, thank you. Xena was lesbianism, especially the spa episode. Xena had some very lesbianic vibes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the lesbians love that show, too.
And I don't know why, because Xena is built like a dude. That chick that was with her, though, the little blonde. What was her name, guys? I never watched the show.
Gabrielle,
is that
I
what it
don't
was?
know the actress's name, but
Yeah, she was cute as fuck, man.
Yeah, I would have banged them both. Lucy Lawless has a certain
Manishness.
no, she's not an unattractive.
She looks like Travis Tritt.
No, she doesn't.
Yeah, she does.
At least she's not fat like Alicia Silverstone was in Batman and Robin.
Look, don't bring up Alicia just because you're defending Travis Tritt, woman.
She does not look like Travis Tritt.
Yes, she does.
She's quite lovely. She's got an adorable smile. And
For a dude.
Gap. She's got a thigh gap.
She only got a thigh gap because her tuck game was so good.
She ain't got no tuck game.
That's a tuck game, man. I'm telling you.
That outfit didn't have enough material for a tuck.
She tucked it right inside. Bloop.
Way up inside.
I'm just saying. That's why there was a gap. It was pulled tight.
Well, then she wouldn't be able to be a lesbian then.
I didn't make her a lesbian. They said she was a lesbian.
Oh, that's fair enough. I don't know. You got me there.
I said it had lesbianic, which, yes, is my new word, themes. It did seem very lesbianic.
Yeah, there were a lot of lesbian themes in there. But I still say Lucy Lawless is an attractive lady.
I don't find her attractive at all, to be honest with you. All kidding aside, I think she's a little manly for my taste. But the little blonde chick, oh hell yeah, all day long.
She was a little pudgy, but she was cute.
I don't know if this is true or if this is real, but this was tweeted out and it made me laugh. A penis drawing that can be seen from space has popped up in Australia.
Are you shocked?
No, I think it's wonderful, actually. The only thing I don't like is it's obviously uncircumcised.
Oh, come on, guys. Try a little harder.
Try a little harder. And for some reason, it's got some extra toppings on the nuts. That's weird looking.
Maybe that's supposed to be like pubes or something.
Maybe. But it kind of looks like they got 4 balls and 2 of them are just really small.
It's a rocket ship.
It's a rocket. Yeah, it's not a penis. But I hope that's real. And good on you, Australia, if it is. And Americans, you should be ashamed that they beat us to that.
Right? What if the Blue Angels guys get in trouble for drawing dicks in the sky?
There have been a couple of pilots who got in trouble for that. Military pilots.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we claimed air supremacy. They claimed land supremacy. That's a fair. Somebody's got to do it in the water now.
Oh, I'm sure there's somebody out there doing that. Dicks in space. No, it wasn't in space. It was from. You could see it from space. It was still Earth dick. And I do want to point out, Jack, again, if it's true, you notice that their dick was nice and straight and erect. The last dick graffiti I saw in the U.S. was limp dicks in Chaz.
Yeah, but that was in Chaz, where they've probably never seen an erect dick.
You think that's what the problem is? They all need Viagra because there's just not enough testosterone in them.
Did you see those guys? They bleed soy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Did you happen to see John Ward's video on Don Lemon, where he shows the old Don Lemon versus the new?
Yeah.
I had to laugh a little bit at the old Don Lemon because it was a clip from 2012. It was amazing how much he sounded like Jordan Peterson.
Right?
Johnny Hellcat, thank you. Those are nut socks. They keep the sweat at bay. That's not real. Stop it. Are there such a thing as nut socks?
I don't know.
I'm not putting any nut socks on my nuts, man.
They're like kitten mittens, but for your balls.
Hell no. My balls need to be nice and aired out, man. They need space.
What about in the winter when your balls get really cold and then they end up in like your lower abdominal area?
Yeah, when they look like a walnut. Yeah. No, wouldn't it just fall off? It's not going to keep them that warm.
I don't know. I try not to think about these things.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, Don Lemon, it was amazing because he's talking about how when he goes to black neighborhoods, there's people throwing trash all over. That doesn't happen in the white neighborhoods. Like, you're starting to sound a little racist there, Don. Speaking of which, did you see Tucker Carlson's head writer got fired?
Yeah, I saw that. They let him resign or whatever.
Yeah, they accepted his resignation because he was on a message board where he was saying horrible shit.
It was like edgy jokes.
It was. And here's the thing. I don't actually support people being fired for the things they say, you know, but I can understand why a company would want to separate with you if you're as well known as he is.
Yeah.
It is interesting to me that CNN went looking, though, because this came from CNN.
Oh, well, he's beating them in the ratings. That's why.
He's beating the fuck out of him in the ratings.
Yeah. He just had like some historical viewership thing. So,
and I'm betting he's going to beat that number on Monday because apparently on Monday he is going to address it personally.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happened.
See, I read some of the stuff that he said, and most of the stuff that the guy directly said isn't really stuff you'd get fired over. Edgy shit, but I mean, nowadays you would, but a couple of years ago, it would have just been like, you knock that shit off right now and delete all your posts. But like,
real quick, Faithless said, it was nothing bad. You've said far worse, Ranting Monkey. I don't work from Fox News. And this is the point that needs to be paid attention to here. Again, I don't support firing people for shit they say online. But with his connection with the show and all of the charges of racism against the show,
yeah,
I understand why. And again, they didn't actually fire him. They let him resign. Which, I mean, in this day and age isn't going to make much of a difference because it's all over the internet, you know?
Well, I'm thinking that maybe in like 6 months, they'll quietly hire him back.
They could.
And it'll just be forgotten about by then, so it'll just slip right under the radar.
Believe me, I wish we lived in a world where a company went, so? You made jokes. Go.
That's not what we're looking at anymore.
Yeah, roll your eyes and move on like the rest of us did.
Oh, real quickly. Thank you, Eaton Beaver. From the Widows and Orphans Fund. They put up a fight, but beating up women and children is easy.
Fair enough, especially the orphans there. They'll pay him the rest of his contract, I guarantee it. Will they have to if he resigned?
I don't know.
I'm not sure how that works. You were like, fuck that guy on Lords of the Night, though. No, I wasn't. Oh, my God. I said, if I was them, I would have fired him, too. And I would have. If I worked at Fox News for Tucker Carlson, who everybody's been talking about being racist for the last several months, and this jackass is out there obviously not protecting himself as he goes undercover to go say edgy shit online, yeah, I'd probably fire his ass. Like, dude, you know what this is going to do to us. You know what it's going to do. Now, if he kept himself anonymous, he would have no trouble. But I would have serious questions about his judgment. Like, dude, why would you be doing this right now? When you're working for this show, why would you be doing this?
Yeah,
this isn't something they dug up, Jack, from years and years ago. He's actively on that board still.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
One of the posts that they dug up, one of the bad posts, was from the 5th of June.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is one of those things. It's like, you represent us, whether you're going out there. There are certain things that we can't have as we work here.
That's understandable, I guess. Thank you, Evolved Potato. I just looked it up, and this wasn't even the biggest one in Australia. Google Maps.
Nice.
Google Maps Merryman, Marreeman.
There you go. I don't like that we live in this society. If I had my way, people would look at it and go, "All right, he was being an asshole," and just move on with their lives. but this would have a direct impact on their business.
Yeah, now if he kept it up and kept doing shit like that, then fire him. But this is like your warning kind of thing.
Yeah, be like, dude, no. But again, he also is the head writer there, you know?
Yeah. You got to be, if you're in a professional field like that, that's under a lot of scrutiny, you kind of have to be a little more cautious with what you say and do.
I want to know how they found out. I'm guessing it was something with like an IP. Which means unless that board, I've never been to the board they talked about, but if your IP is easy to find on there, doesn't matter if you're anonymous or not. Not when you're posting anywhere else under your real name.
Yeah, I don't know.
Some jobs involve having a public figure and doing work is upholding a nice presentation. Well, he probably could have got away with most of what he said, but he did drop an N-bomb in there once. He did suggest that crime is down because black kids are inside playing Call of Duty. Actually, he said that. I'm just paraphrasing. Again, edgy jokes, but where you work, man, it matters. It shouldn't, but welcome to 2020.
Oh, Portland's getting tear gassed.
Good. Gas the shit out of them. Hopefully that baby's not there. Was that video from tonight?
Yeah, I think so.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. I don't like the world that we live in. I don't like that I have to couch the things I say here. Trust me, off air, me and Jack say far worse things.
Oh, yeah.
Because we have to. It's just it. If this was somebody who worked at CNN, they'd probably be able to get away with it. If it was somebody who worked at MSNBC, they'd get rid of him just from the look of it.
Yeah.
But if it was somebody who worked at a paper or something like that where it wasn't so much scrutiny, they probably could have got away with it, but not at Fox News. You can't. And it sucks. So VPN that shit, dumbass. The fuck were you thinking?
Yeah, boomer. Jeez.
Just use a VPN. Remember, VPNs are not just to keep you from getting the stuff that they tell you VPNs are for when they try to sell them to you. That's not the reason you get a VPN. It's so you control.
Yeah, so you could be a shitbag and nobody knows it was you.
Yeah. I
mean, it's common sense, really. I mean, if you want to be edgy, you find a way to be edgy, but not by getting caught.
Kyla says it wasn't his IP. Check Mr. Obvious's video on it. Well, what's the short version of it? How'd they catch him? Because unless he used the same name, I'm very curious how they caught him if it wasn't through IP. Tear gas being fired in the eyes on chat. Oh, yeah. Jack just mentioned that. That stuff's funny, though. That was very mild shit for potentially years of comments and jokes. Again, I don't think it was that bad. But
the articles that I read first. Oh, sorry.
I was just saying Fox News. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, the early articles on it made it sound a lot worse than if you actually go read what he wrote.
Yeah, the headlines are like fired for racist comments.
Yeah, and like the stuff, the original poster that he was responding to in one of them said some pretty vile stuff, but he didn't say it. He was responding to that person. So, and then he did say some stuff that would get you in trouble, but you just got to be careful.
Kyla says he bragged that he was a writer on the show.
Well, that's dumb.
Well, still, how did they? I mean, that would, I get it. That would at least point you to a writer, but what'd they do? Match it up with his normal typos?
Oh, you know how CNN and Media Matters works. They probably analyze the way he writes.
He may have also at one point said lead writer or something like that, or told how long he'd been there, which that would make it easy to put it together because, dumbass, the fuck were you doing? especially if he was out there bragging that he was a writer on the show. Yeah, you gotta get rid of him at that point.
Yeah.
And again, I think he was trying to be edgy. He's not very funny. Those are lazy jokes, man.
Well, of course, but I don't know. This whole thing is stupid. CNN's wasting time but they're trying to take down their competition, and that's how it should look to everyone.
Indeed. And they went after him. Meanwhile, when was the last important article CNN wrote on Biden?
Oh, you're funny.
We're still in a presidential election, aren't we?
Only when it matters, when it's about Trump.
It's 4 months away. And these assholes are going after a writer for being edgy on a message board rather than giving a fuck about Joseph Biden. You know, I still haven't seen a major article about those lies Biden told when he was running for whatever it was that one time where he claimed to have 3 degrees and finished at the top of his class on a full scholarship.
You're never going to see those. They're burying that stuff and erasing it from the internet.
I mean, why would we care about this man being a fucking liar? And you know what? It would actually work out well for them. If they played that, I think they could be like, look, Joe's just had a bad memory his whole life. That's why he thinks his wife is him.
Yeah.
That's why he mixes up his sister and his wife all the time. He keeps putting it in his sister, and she goes, Joe, not today. Go find your wife. Imagine being solely judged by your 3 worst statements you've made in the last 5 years. Well, let me help you out there, Faithless, because I understand what you're saying. I do. I'm not saying this is great, but when I worked for Walmart, I made sure the fuck that you could not tell who I was, because Walmart will fire you for shit you say online.
Yeah, most places will now. And it doesn't take much because they don't want the hate mob stirred up after them.
Yep. And I say horrible shit online. It's not like I started that when I got to YouTube. I've been saying it for a long time, Jay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I made sure that I was completely separated from Walmart. I wouldn't even say what company I worked for.
Oh, God, no.
Because all it takes is one asshole going, oh, you work for Walmart, and then they go and try to find me.
Yeah. And somebody will, too. There's a lot of dumb people that are jerks that have a lot of free time.
Yep.
And they will do it just to get somebody fired because it gives them that little rush of power.
Yeah, I didn't mind, as much as people have found out about me, because I don't have to answer to anyone anymore. If I did, oh, fuck no. Fuck no. I would be as locked down as humanly possible. I might not even started a channel at that point. Because, fuck. Yeah, I remember when we worked at Walmart, there was somebody who got fired. Not in my store, but at a Walmart for something they had said online. I was like, that shit ain't happening to me. The far left will stalk anyone. Yeah. How do you donate through Streamlabs anonymously? You have to set up a special PayPal account that's in a business name without your name on it. A lot of employment contracts have clauses in them now that say you can be fired for your behavior online if you can be linked to the company. Yeah. And I don't like that, but
unfortunately, that's the world we live in. That's why you never tell people where you work and you never put it in your bios on social media.
Oh, certainly not in your bio. I don't understand why people do that. And then they'll go, opinions are my own. Like, your boss isn't going to care if you say the wrong thing and a mob comes out.
Yeah.
No, but I said my opinions are my own. Like, they don't care. You still said it. And this is why we need to get back to free speech. This is why it's so important.
Look,
and
your new social credit score will be thoroughly explained to you by your Chinese overlords.
Don't worry, they're coming. They're coming. Did you see the other day when Ilhan Omar said we need to tear down the systems of oppression, which include our economic and political systems.
I heard about that. She's silly.
I read a article today that was like, oh, the right wing is so stupid about this. All she's talking about is making a better country. They're making it sound like she wants to tear everything down. That's not what she said. I'm like, bitch, that is literally what she said. Tear it down and rebuild it. And given that we know she's a fan of communism, how do you think she means to rebuild it?
Makes you wonder.
That's a thinker, ain't it?
Yeah.
And tear down the political system. Okay. And replace it with what? Just restart with exactly the same thing we have? Because that seems like a waste of time, Jack.
No, you got to institute something different, something more based around the community, like as a commune.
Yeah, some with the commune that people can get behind.
Yeah, but with an ism at the end. Because people like their
communalism.
Yeah.
Communalism. Scribe Light, thank you. Or just donate in my name. Yeah. Tribal warfare with warlords. Oh, that's hitting below the belt. Maybe union at the end. Perhaps. Maybe some kind of union like that. Yeah. I read this and I'm like, okay, look. The people who saw this and were like, oh, damn, this bitch she's not even hiding her communist bullshit, were right. This is the kind of stuff when you start seeing your politicians like this, talking like that, revolution's coming and it's not going to be good for you.
Yeah.
The first thing they're going to do is take away all your rights and they'll give back the ones they think you should have. Jack, did you see yesterday that out there in Seattle, the board has enough people that are promising to vote that they can override the mayor's veto, and they want to reduce police funding by 50%.
I had heard that. That's now that we all know that that's true, that's fucking insane.
Yeah, they're going to. Some of it will come. It will be okay because it's going to be. They're moving the 911, 911 out of the police control, so it won't be coming out of their budget anymore. So that'll take care of a little of it. They want to run an ad campaign.
An ad campaign?
Yeah, an ad campaign. So I wish I was making that up. An ad campaign for a Imagine Life After Police or something like that.
What? Yeah,
Yeah.
It's going to look like Detroit.
And then the other thing they were going to spend the money on was to there was this one thing. What was it? Support community action rather than police, which I don't know what the fuck that means. And then the final one was to lower rent, to get lower cost housing. Because that's the real problem with George Floyd would still be alive today if there was lower cost housing in Minneapolis.
Yeah, I don't think that's how that works.
Are you sure? Because that's one of the things they want to do is lower, and this is all in response to what happened to George, right?
Supposedly.
So that's got to be how you fix it. If somebody's ever pointing a gun at you, just tell them, hey, I'll pay $50 of your rent. They won't shoot you.
They'll take your $50, all right.
They sure will.
Along with everything else in your wallet.
I saw that. I'm like, you've got to be shitting me.
This is insane.
I can't wait for it, though. The Seattle streams are about to get a lot more fun.
I guess.
A lot more violent out there. As I mentioned on Lords of the Night, Jack, we saw what happened when they just closed down the East Precinct. the 9/11 response times jumped to like 18 minutes.
Yeah, wasn't it like triple what it used to be?
Over triple what it used to be, yes. And that didn't, when they closed that precinct down, that didn't get rid of the police that worked there. They just didn't work out of that precinct anymore.
Yeah, it's still tripled response time.
We're talking about cutting the police force in half, because you're not going to be able to keep all of those officers. Even if you got rid of overtime, you're still going to be getting rid of at least probably 40% of them.
Yeah, they'll start cutting other resources first, like crisis centers, women's shelters, the advocates that help rape victims, processing test kits like DNA and rape kits. They'll cut a lot of that shit first.
Can't type the word moron that I'm not going to be in your chat. Dude, I have nothing to do with it. You got, what happened? What was with the moron?
Yeah, YouTube's been kind of watching us lately.
Yeah, I probably should have just ignored it when they demonetized me. Oh, you're talking about in somebody else's chat. Okay. Not you, monkey. Yeah. The only time I don't want you guys insulting each other. You guys can argue, but please don't get shitty to each other. And I know you're not being that way. But yeah, you can say you can call me a moron all day long if you want.
There's plenty of people that call us names all the time.
Yeah, it doesn't have like water off a duck's back, man. Don't give a shit. We're not doing that. I know, Eagle. I know. That's why I said not you, Eagle. But we had this come up yesterday or the day before. Was it yesterday? There was a shitbag in chat yesterday, Jack. And eventually, Nuts is like, "Can I bop him?" I'm like, "Sweetie, you got a wrench." And I explain the rules. One, there are certain things I cannot allow you to say. If you start dropping N-bombs in my chat, you're going to get bopped. And it's not because of me. It's because YouTube will take me down over what you said. If you are being insulting to each other, I will step in and be like, stop it. If you want to say horrible shit to me, I don't give a fuck. Call me whatever names you want that are not racial slurs. I don't even think you can say honky anymore because they took away redneck.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's fucking stupid.
They start doing this automated censor crap.
Yep.
I get it. People are worried. I know a lot of other chats are way more heavily censored because people are just scared. Yep. They don't know what to say. And it wouldn't surprise me if we start seeing more and more people just disable the chat.
Yeah. Just because you have YouTube holding us responsible for what's said in chat is fucking bullshit. If there's a whole list of words they don't want said, they have every ability to go through, put those words in, and make it so nobody can say them in chat. They've done it with a ton of words.
Yeah, but they're using it as a cudgel to hold over your head. If they don't like you, they get rid of you that way. BG
says, you know it's bad when Nuts wants to bop you. No shit. She's such a fucking sweetheart. She's like, can I bop him? Like, get him, baby. Go. I'm not. That came out wrong. Get him, sweetie. It's weird. Calling somebody baby, it has more of a intimate sound to it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Get him, sweetie. I'll say that to you, Jack. Get him, baby.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, they've been watching us for a little bit. Had to test. You cannot say honky. Thank you so much, X Bubba Hotep. Had to throw the E in there to spell it.
Yeah, somebody said you can't say pervert either.
It's weird. Eagle says baby doll. No, the only person I call baby doll is my wife. I call people all kinds of pet names. The only one that's baby doll is Lady Monkey. Although, just out of saying it, because I've been around Lady Monkey, I accidentally called my daughter that one time. I called my wife Sweetie one time, and my daughter looked at me and she goes, "That is my name." And Lady Monkey, she goes, "Yeah, you always call her that, never me." I was like, "Oh shit."
Oops. Joe Biden.
I just interchange those ones. Like I said, the only one I call baby doll is Lady Monkey. Everyone else, I just kind of, I call my daughter Munchkin. That's her that I have for her. She's always been my Munchkin. And so when if I'm being specific like that, that's what I say. I didn't realize I had only been using sweetie with her, and she got mad. She was so cute. She was like 14 at the time. Like, all right, sorry, sweetie.
That's funny.
Oh, she was so cute. Yep, and I even have special nicknames for my boys. Always have since they were little. I don't call people by their name, Jack. I forget names.
That's understandable, though.
Yeah, if you're using pet names and stuff like that, it's much easier. And that's like when I worked at Walmart. I didn't call anybody by their fucking name. I called them sir or ma'am. And towards the end, some of the younger women, I am not a ma'am. I'm not an old lady. I'm like, that ain't what it means, bitch. Would you prefer bitch? Because you're kind of being one right now. I am not a ma'am. You're a woman, right? Yeah. When I was growing up, that's what you were taught to call people.
Yeah. Now you're assuming their gender or some made up nonsense.
Fucking, I am not a ma'am. I'm not old. Like,
I'm a Zier.
Like, shut up, pussy. Apparently YouTube has a blocked list that you're on, Keeverdam. Oh. Keeverdam, what'd you do? We do know from the monkey debacle, when they made it so you couldn't say monkey, as they slowly brought it back, because it seems like most people can say monkey again, but some people still couldn't. So that some people get on a list, and apparently if you've been bad in somebody else's chat or YouTube has decided you've been bad, they will put you on a list where you can't say certain words, which is really weird.
I still think that's somehow regional.
Could be. Yeah, see, people are saying monkey. There used to be a time when nobody could do that shit. Yeah. I think it was us pointing out how racist it is that made YouTube rethink it.
I hope so. Because
remember, if you think black person when you hear monkey, you're the racist.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nuts, for dropping our Streamlabs link, sweetie. She's such a sweetheart.
Yeah, it's nice of her.
Guys, remember, we're brought to you by you. Hit the like button, hit the share button, and throw money at Jack. He's good people. It comes and goes. I said it 4 times in one chat, and only 3 out of the 4 weren't censored. Monkey? Wow. Kind of makes me wish I'd picked a different name. I love my name. I love being the ranting monkey and all that. But I hate that YouTube is like, that must mean you're racist. Like, no, that's you, motherfucker.
You had no idea that they would assume that means something racial.
You know,
it does that.
It should have been. I should have known. I should have known because it was coming. They've been chipping away at what we're allowed to say slowly for years. I expect soon primate won't be allowed to be said.
Probably.
Even though that doesn't just mean monkeys. I got censored on EO's chat for the word Canadians. What?
Well, let's be honest.
Right.
Now there's a whole bunch of weird things in their block list, and if somebody's being monitored by YouTube, they're probably have an expanded list their chat can't say, or the channel owners are being extra careful.
Jack says it's not monkey alone, it's monkey preceded by a negative adjective. That's not true either. There for a while, you couldn't say monkey. And then it was the adjective thing, and then they started releasing it where some people could say it and not others. I don't know if Prospero can say it. She couldn't say. Last I knew, she still couldn't say my name. Yeah, it's been a wild ride on the Can't Say Monkey Express. Fucking jackasses. Ranting kangaroo doesn't have a ring to it. That's true. Punching kangaroo, kicking kangaroo. Those are both. Kicking kangaroo kind of works. It's got the alliteration going on too.
Yeah.
Already got in trouble for caveman.
Geico.
What?
You remember the Geico commercials?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Geico got in trouble for it. I missed where you said that because you have Jack's full name on there. I called Monkey a cunt just now, so that's not it. Shut up, BG. Oh, man. The world has become a really stupid place. And that's, I see people talk like, oh, maybe it's always just been bad. And you know what? There's been bad aspects to it before, of course. We know this. But the more we progress, there seems to be this need to regress at the same time. Like equal and opposite reaction or something. It's like we have iPhones now, but we're not allowed to speak freely.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah. What do you think, Jack? Do you think? Because I think we're on a downward spiral right now. I believe that, and I believe a lot of it is that progressivism has been allowed to run rampant and unchecked, and people are afraid to call people commies, and people are afraid to just speak their mind because they'll get destroyed for it. Which I understand being afraid for that. I've been there.
Yeah, of course.
But it seems like a downward spiral to me for all of the advances we have around us. I mean, we're talking about people losing basic rights like being able to say words. Buster Outlaw, thank you. Hey, Jack and not Jack, can't say your name. Damn.
Wow. Can you do it?
What chat were you in that you pissed off? And I do think this stream, they probably clicked something to put us on a more, what's the word I'm looking for here?
Rigid.
Yeah, more rigid list of words that can't be said. Because they did come in, Jack. I told you they finally answered me about how they were being psychic. And their answer was that I'm a shithead on this show.
Yeah. That doesn't make them psychic. It just means
no.
They're punishing you for all future streams.
Yep. Well, Jack, just tonight, my last stream that I had asked for a review on was monetized. And so I go and I do the monetization, big red thing. Be careful. You've been wrong a lot recently. Like, no, I haven't. There's one yellow and a whole bunch of greens. What do you mean wrong a lot? Go fuck yourselves.
Oh, they didn't mean in your keywords. They just mean that you're wrong.
They keep hitting me for the hate speech one.
Yeah.
And YouTube, give me a number. Tell me when I did it. You fucking pussies. Would that be hate speech? Would calling the people who work at YouTube a bunch of pussies be hate speech?
I don't think it'd be hate speech. It's just calling too much attention to yourself.
Perhaps. I mean, because it's kind of true.
Well, yeah, it doesn't mean it's a good idea to point it out.
I do wonder about these people. You know, all the people who are like, we have to be nice. We can't use those words, but we'll set a police car on fire. How that works in their mind?
Well, it involves a lot of crazy and mental gymnastics.
Like you have all kinds of horrible stuff going on right now from the left. These are lefties out there. Those aren't righties out there breaking shit, burning shit, killing people. And I mean, this is all coming from the left, but they're the nice ones.
They are on the right side of history, I've heard.
Well, listening that thing Villain Phoenix said, lefties are the nice ones. And I'm trying to figure, the only thing I can figure out is when it comes to the words they won't use. Because you've listened to those streams, they scream horrible shit.
Yeah.
Horrible shit. I'm going to go fuck your wife. I've seen them say that. But that's not horrible shit. That's nice stuff.
Yeah, well, they're aiming it at the people that we hate for the next 2 minutes.
It's really weird to me. It hurts my brain. Deconstruct the language. Nothing means anything, so define words as their opposites to justify their violence. Racism is non-racism. Violence is non-violence. 2 + 2 = 5. Marxism. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm telling you guys, I've been watching this for a while. I've been saying this for a while. This is what we're watching has fuck all to do with Black Lives. What we're watching is communism taking hold.
Yeah.
It's what we saw back in the Ferguson riots. It's what we're seeing now. And it's just chipping away and it's chipping away. And
they're definitely gaining ground.
yeah. And it's just being preached to them. And you have leaders. Sorry, whether you like it or not, Ilhan Omar is a leader. We need to destroy all of our systems. Huh? People like AOC, don't go back to your jobs. Just demand money. Because that's the smart thing to do. Don't go back unless they give you ownership of it, even though you didn't actually build it. Because you never actually run it. But you punch a clock and run a machine that basically does itself, and you have to watch it. They are slowly but surely. And again, there's that sign that says, we don't need a race war, we need a class war. You know why class war? I will not stop beating this drum. Because race wars don't work. Sex wars don't work. Class wars always do, because it makes people envious. And envy is a motherfucker. Jealousy will make people kill.
Oh, absolutely.
Enforcing 230 is all that's needed. Talking about 230 of the internet code. It's being enforced. And I know people don't like that, but the way it's written, it's being used as it's supposed to be. There is nothing in there that says they can't do what they're doing. In fact, the vague language in there is exactly why they can do what they're doing. Now, if you want to say amend 230, you'd be right. Because right now, what is it? I want to. It's lewdness, nudes, sexual stuff, and what is it? Anything offensive? Was that the word?
Vague like that.
Yeah. And it just says in good faith you can block any of those things as long as you don't like them. Yeah. There's nothing in there that says you can't do it based on politics, or that you can't do it based on people named John. They don't have to have a reason.
Objectionable.
Objectionable. Yes, thank you. That is the word. Objectionable.
Thank you.
Any other objectionable material. Yeah. Like, go fuck yourselves, you vague pieces of shit. And the problem is, if you read all of the other wording, there's only one that is not sexual suggesting. Violence. All of the other ones are, lewd, or graphic sexuality, that kind of stuff. So they want to give them the chance to keep violence and sex off of there if they wanted to. Which, fuck you, but still, that's what they wrote into it. And then anything else you find objectionable. But technically, that means Facebook could say, I object to Koreans. I object to Asian people. No Asians are allowed on our site. And they wouldn't be violating Section 230. Needs to be changed to read illegal. I could go with that with the other wording. But you know what? I would no. I would put illegal in there, but I would separate it, because the way 230 is written, it says that the platform or the user will have the ability to block all of these things. It should be separated. It should be separated so that the users can block it, but the platform itself can't get rid of it unless I'll give them violence. I'm okay with that one. If they want to say no violent material. All right, fair enough. Or illegal activity. Fair enough. That's easy. The rest of it, no, not for them. But we don't want nudity on here. I don't know. I'm kind of torn on the nudity part there, Jack. If you want to say specifically nudity, graphic nudity, okay. But if it's just like, I don't know, the statue of David.
What if they made the rule no fat chicks?
Ooh. Are they allowed to catfish still?
No catfishing.
Where they take that beautiful picture from behind a fence from 400 yards.
Oh, yeah, none of that shit. For a second there, I was thinking of a bear grabbing salmon out of the river.
No, not that. No.
Yeah, because I can see fat chicks doing that too.
You know, with just that right lighting and just the face, like, you're fat, aren't you?
Yeah.
Look, I'm tubby too, but I'm not gonna lie about it.
Yeah, well, we're guys. We just have to get rich.
Eagle says, really start to break this down. Interesting. Are you talking about Section 230? Section 230 is not what most people think it is, because most of the commenters out there who are talking about it have just heard somebody else talk about it and haven't actually read the fucking thing. Believe me, I've read it over and over and over and over and over again. I've had to link it over and over and over and over and over again. Usually I'm doing it to people who are arguing that 230 is not being violated when there is a clear violation. And there's very few times that it's a clear violation. The whole idea of 230 was to give us, let's use Twitter as an example. It was to give Twitter the ability to give its users the ability to block people. That was the intent. And if they wanted to go ahead and get rid of somebody who's being absolutely just a shit stain. And then you couldn't go, hey, that's a violation. That's you being a publisher, the way that the New York Times actually goes through and picks and chooses what they put in their editorials. And that's the difference in a publisher and a platform as 230 defines it. When the New York Times puts up an article or an op-ed, somebody who works there takes the time to read through it and go, yes, we approve of this one. With your platforms, whoever's using it is the one who makes that call. So people get this in their head that, well, they won't let this person write anymore. That means they're being a publisher. No, it doesn't. Because all of the other stuff that is there is still, for the most part, uncurated. And that's where people get 230 wrong. 230 needs to be rewritten is the problem. And unfortunately, they're not violating it. Woohoo, my alcohol consumption and dating life is going to improve since tubby women can't interwebs anymore.
Right?
Fuck. Eagle says, I'm just tired of no reason or logic in any of this shit. I get you, man. And the problem is that our leaders, like Donald Trump mentioned 230 the other day. Well, a couple weeks ago now. And did you notice none of the platforms got nervous at all?
I didn't see anything about it.
Like, fuck you. He said 230 needs to be looked at, and he's right. He's absolutely right.
It's really poorly worded.
There shouldn't be an exception in there, or there should be an exception in there that you can't block them purely for political motives. And I cannot believe our Congress, especially even with Democrats in control of the House, this hasn't been looked at, because they are convinced, absolutely convinced, that Donald Trump, a big part of his victory was ads on Facebook. And you think it's okay for them to shut people up? What happens when Facebook sells to somebody who's right-leaning, which, by the way, a lot of CEOs and stuff are? What happens when one of them comes in and you get silenced? You're not going to like it. I don't think that they can say with any kind of credibility. I don't think that any of these platforms can say with credibility that they are not left-leaning and that they don't go after right-leaning people, because they absolutely do. There's too much evidence to show it. But then they'll let somebody, wait, Ben Shapiro's still here. Yeah. Good job. Do you want me to point out how many lefties I see every day?
Right?
Every fucking day.
They're going to leave a few right-wingers as tokens.
Yeah, that way they can still say, no, we're not. This isn't political. They said a bad word. They said something mean to someone else. They called a trans woman a dude. Still can't believe he got a 3-day suspension for that shit.
Yeah, that was pretty stupid.
That was real stupid. Twitter is like super pro-tran right now. They're like ultra pro. If there was a superhero for trans people, it would be called Twitter. Because you can't say anything. I had a discussion with a trans person the other day, and I had to be very careful what I said because we were talking about trans stuff. Meanwhile, they were allowed to say whatever the fuck they wanted. Because I knew if I stepped out of line, I'm gone. And they know they can say whatever the fuck they want and nothing's going to happen. Which is why I now recommend not just telling, if you get suspended and there's an appeal, don't just tell them that you're a black person. Tell them you're trans as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like there's a certain level of power and maybe some privilege that some people have.
Almost. Faithless says Ben is double token conservative and Jew, right? Like, look, we got a good little Jew right here. We let him speak. That's because he's a good boy. He doesn't say any of the bad stuff. Although I could see Ben getting in trouble for supporting Israel.
Yeah, that's a good point.
If he said the wrong wording about, the Israeli-Palestinian thing, I could see them getting rid of him going, he was anti-Muslim.
Well, he should just be thankful that de Blasio doesn't run the YouTubes. The people of Jewish nature.
I think it's time to come out as a male-to-male trans lesbian. No, I am a trans. Did we not discuss this on the show? I'm a trans woman lesbian. It's the only way I could be a lesbian because I was born male. And it says lesbian in my bio on Twitter. Fuck with me. I can play your games. I don't understand why more people don't. They've made it so you can literally be whatever you want to be. Like, fuck it, I'm trans now. What are you gonna do? I mean, it's not like they can go, oh, but you're not sleeping with men. Like, no, I'm a trans lesbian. I enjoy sex with women with my dick. It's a female penis. It's a long, straight, beautiful female penis. And Susan, for the right price, you can see it.
Jesus.
You're so not a passing trans monkey. Look. Sometimes women are big and bulky and have beards. I've seen them.
Beyonce.
Mm-hmm. I am one. There you go. Remember, I don't have to look trans to be trans. And to people out there who actually have gender dysphoria, I am sorry if this kind of stuff, or that you have to put up with this kind of stuff, because I know you're not the problem, but there is a problem. And as Milo says, you meet outrageousness with outrage, or outrage with outrageousness. That's how you do it. That's how you fuck with them. Take their rules. See, this is when like Sargon talks about Rule 4 from Rules for Radicals. This is how you use their rules against them. You just, Look, if I didn't think I'd be arrested for it, I would go into the female bathroom.
I've done it.
Just to the most liberal place around, and there's several, and just, I need to use the female bathroom. What? You're a man. Oh, no, you didn't.
Yeah, I do that at Target. I just go to the women's restroom.
Yeah. What are they going to do?
Yeah, they have a policy. They're not even allowed to ask you about it.
Yep. So fuck them. What did Eagle do? James, did you accidentally get somebody again?
Yeah, he did it earlier.
God damn it, James. There we go. Sorry about that, dude. I don't know if James meant that. Sorry, I wasn't looking at chat these last couple of minutes, so I didn't see. I just doubt Eagle said something worth that.
Well, chat's been jumping. So
Eagle, sometimes people accidentally, especially if you're using a phone and you have moderation powers, you can see right there. He put it in his pocket.
Yeah, he accidentally bopped you, Eagle. Monkey undid it.
Sorry about that, bud.
It happens. We've all done it. Lucky Pop-Tart's notorious for doing it.
Yeah, Poppy made me take away a wrench because she kept doing it. I've done it to people before, especially if you go to click on somebody and chat jumps.
Yeah. Oh, I fucking hate that.
Yep. At least they've made it. They didn't used to let you unhide people, but now we can. So
yeah, it used to be a giant pain in the ass. You had to dig around in your like community thing.
Delahaye says, "Poor Poppy." Yeah, she felt so bad about it. She can't. But I gotta say, if you accidentally get bopped, wouldn't you rather be bopped by Poppy's boobs than by James's nut?
Yeah, but I don't really want to be bopped by either one.
You got nut bop, dude. I'm sorry. James, tuck to the other side, man. Tuck to the other
He's
side.
A busy man. He doesn't have time for that.
Mr. Hughes says testicle timeout.
I like that. That's funny.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that, Eagle. It does happen from time to time. Oh, yeah. Pat's done it in here before. He said, I've done it with my phone or tablet flipped. Oh, I could see that too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Oh, man. Yeah, I just watched the censorship and stuff going on, and it really does suck. It have you played BTB Battles? What is that? Bloons Tower Defense Battles? No, the online stuff. No, stop it. You only need to put it in once. Stop it. No, I haven't played the battles. Final slash. Don't laugh about that shit. Don't spam. There's somebody who every so often their phone will do that to them. They'll type in something once, and it's, I forget who was it. Was it oh god, the Australian guy.
That narrowed it down. I
know there's so many of them.
It's like half the audience.
Fuck, I forget his name. But every so often, his phone would just do that to him. It splashed like 4 of them in a row. Excuse me. No, I haven't. Oh shit, I didn't turn on balloons today, so I probably lost my opening my chest bonus. Not you, Cynic. Although I love your little ass. Cynic, are you playing the new alpha on 7 days? Oh man. We had such a mishap tonight. Me and Satsu, we leave our base, which is way up in the air. It's a giant tower that we found.
Nice.
And we leave it, and we drive away, and we're doing quests and stuff. And I come back to the house, and half of our house has collapsed.
I mean, gee, why?
It was a heartbreaking moment. I don't know. We don't know. There's no reason it should have fallen.
Structurally unsound. OSHA did not supervise that.
We forgot to get a permit.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we had to take all of our stuff out of it. And we collect a lot of shit. And we had to go find a new house real quick. Oh, man, it sucked. It sucked. Because I really liked living up there. Anyway. What was I talking about? Oh, the censorship and the media stuff here. As bad as it is, I think a far worse problem. Who do you think I'm going to blame, Jack? Take a wild guess who Monkey's going to rail on for a minute, who I haven't really railed on too much tonight. Our press.
Oh, yeah.
These are the shitbags who, when Jim Acosta was kicked out of the White House, not forever, he just lost his permanent press pass, so he would have had to fill out a form every day. And apparently writing his name down is really hard, which I believe, having seen this shithead. The entirety of the press comes out, oh my God, I can't believe they did that. And they did it for a reason. He was being a shitbag. He wouldn't stop being an asshole to the point where he actually nudged a woman who's trying to get the mic away from him because his turn was up and he wouldn't shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And like, get the fuck out of here. And the entirety of the press is like, oh, no, you can't do that. Free speech. You can't silence reporters. And these same assholes, no matter what you think of Alex Jones is a reporter. Alex Jones tells the news. It's some weird news sometimes. He does a lot of speculation. He does a lot of commentary, which is just like CNN. And I don't watch a lot of Alex Jones, but I know CNN gets a shit ton of stories wrong. How many people in the press came out for him? When Alex was kicked off of all social media, how many of these shitheads came out for him? None of them. The only person I saw come out and defend him was Jimmy fucking Dore, a man who spit on him, who hates Alex Jones so much he spit on the man. He's the only one that came out. All the rest of them are like, Joe Rogan. Okay, Joe Rogan as well. But I don't see Joe as much as a news person. He's a talk show host.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit different. Yeah, and nobody came out for him. And they don't come out for any of this. All these people, they've never come out and go, guys, this is censorship. And while we understand it's your company and it's not really a First Amendment issue, you should stop doing this and let people speak freely. No. You know what they all do? Oh, yeah, you got to kick off those people who said those bad words. If you don't, they actually called it violating people's civil rights. Letting people post and say mean things is violating other people's civil rights. The fuck are you talking about?
Right.
But, let this come back. Let the press even have Donald Trump call them fake news. He's attacking the press, you guys. That's going to make people not like us. That's the First Amendment. They do not care. Do not care at all. Faithless says he was competition. You're not wrong. You're absolutely right. And people like Susan suck up to the competition. Susan's bitch ass, sorry, Susan, has been all over legacy media. And almost every time I've seen her on there, she talks about how she's taking care of the bad people. We're getting rid of those bad people. You know, the ones that are kicking your ass in the rating? Yeah, we're going to find a way to get rid of them. I was like, for real? That's the problem. That is the problem. If the press would come down on these, this is what Grums was talking about in his one post. They started small. And he points out, when Alex Jones gets kicked off, there's no reaction. Except for that's not exactly true. There was. A lot of people on the right, a lot of people in the center who at least care about free speech, a lot of them were like, what the fuck is going on? The problem is none of those people are in the press. None of them. Tucker Carlson did. Fox News. That's all they have to say. Fox News. No matter what's on Fox News, they could come out and say, fuck, the protesters burned down a building and actually have video of it. And you go, Fox News showed them burning down that. They've said that they're arsonists. And the person you argue, Fox News. I don't believe it. Fox News is not seen as news. Fox News is the only news organization you are allowed to bitch at and complain about. Democratic politicians have been talking shit about Fox News since its inception. But let Donald Trump call CNN fake news and watch them lose their fucking minds.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't attack the press. They never say that when it's Fox News. And I want to point out again, I don't watch Fox News at all.
Me either.
The only time I watch them is when somebody sends me a clip or something goes viral and it's like, shit, I'm going to have to talk about this tonight. I'm not defending them because I agree with them or I like their channel. I'm defending them because if you're going to say free press matters, all free press matters. From CNN to these idiots who are out there filming the stuff going on in Portland right now. And yes, just because they don't have a press pass, that doesn't, they made up their own little one. That doesn't make them press, but they are. Right now, a lot of them, the ones who aren't actively involved in the shit, like I would say Villain Phoenix, that's press. He's not getting actively involved. He's just recording it.
Yeah, and he's being the most fair of any of them out there too. So
I can't, I can't understand it. Check the hashtag. I sent you a story on Biden Bernie joint task force. I saw a story about that the other day. They've come up with the platform they want the party to run on. It's not as left as Bernie would like, but it's more left than Biden would want, is the way that it was put. Because it doesn't go all in on getting rid of carbon. We got to reduce our carbon footprint. But it does go pretty far in on things like Black Lives Matter. Who is the arbiter of who the real press and who isn't? The press. I mean, with the guy, like I said, with the guys down there, this is a good place to look if you want to see just real press. I mean, these guys are down there recording this shit. You have some that are activists. They are recording it and being shitbags about it. They're actively part of the protest. And then you have people who are just recording what's going on. The ones who are part of the protest, I wouldn't call press. I would call them protesters. So it's a rickety platform. Yeah, it's not good from what I read. But it was neat to see that. Oh, here we go. 6 takeaways from the Biden-Sanders Joint Task Force. All right. New York Times. Oh, this should be good. Here are the key points from the 6 areas. Healthcare, expanding government-run plans without Medicare for all. Yeah, that's one of the things that the Bernie supporters like, oh, come on. They decided to go with Biden's just expanding Obamacare instead. Criminal justice. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Jack.
I was rolling my eyes at what you just said, but thank you, Evolved Potato. I always thought Alex Jones was just doing jokes, but the gay frogs thing I learned today is actually from him talking about the chemical atrazine. It actually is shown change frogs to female or sterilize them. Yeah, it's weird. He threw the link in here too. I'll drop that in chat. Yeah, it's crazy, but Alex Jones wasn't wrong about the frogs.
No, he wasn't. He was absolutely turning the fucking frogs gay. The freaking, right? He didn't say fucking.
Yeah,
turning the freaking frogs gay. He's not wrong. That's absolutely true.
Yeah, he's just a bit of a showman about how he does things.
He is. And look, I'm not even an Alex Jones fan. I thought it was funny what he did to Cenk in that one thing.
Yeah, it was funny.
But I don't exactly blame Jimmy Dore for spitting on him either.
I thought that was a little overboard.
It is. I'd have punch. If you spit on me, I'm gonna punch you in the mouth. That's disrespectful as shit.
And quite honestly, I think Alex Jones could probably take Jimmy Dore in a fight.
Yeah, he could. But I mean, if you're that diametrically opposed and this dude crashes your fucking show to be a dickhead, which he was, I could see it, you know.
Yeah.
Be a man about it, though, and get in his face and tell him to fuck off. Don't spit on him. All right, number 2, criminal justice. Broad agreement on many priorities, but not on marijuana. And these are the 6 bullet points. They dig deeper down later. Let's see. Climate change. New near-term target, but no fracking ban. The economy. Closing racial gaps and creating jobs program. Okay, I'll have to take a look at that one. Education. Rethinking Obama-era priorities. And immigration. A focus on undoing Trump's priorities. Okay, economics recommendations to Biden include more expansive and expensive plans than he has embraced in the campaign. They're already heavily focused on addressing racial inequality and on getting Americans back to work in the wake of the recession caused by the pandemic. Let them go outside. It was amazing. You know, they're all freaking out. Oh my God, the numbers are rising. The numbers are rising. Yeah, you know what number was rising that really panicked them? Employment. That scared the shit out of them. The task force suggests that Mr. Biden considers several plans that his more liberal rivals had championed during the Democratic primaries, though at times it stopped short of endorsing them. They call for a comprehensive agenda for community of color with ambition that matches the scale of the challenges and with Jesus Christ. What word fucking salad? This is a quote. A comprehensive agenda for communities of color with ambition that matches the scale of the challenge and with recognition that race-neutral policies are not a sufficient response to race-based disparities.
Yeah, it's like they put it through a random word generator.
Quick, I need more adjectives. Jesus Christ. What was the immigration one? The report indicated that immigration agenda of a Biden administration would focus on undoing President Trump's restrictionist policies, which have been an anathema to Democrats. Is that how you say that? Anathema?
You're close enough.
Yeah. The task force recommended that Mr. Biden work with Congress to maintain protections for about 700,000 youth immigrants known as Dreamers. It also recommends ending Mr. Trump's travel restrictions against 13 countries, most of which have substantial Muslim populations. They put that in there. That wasn't me adding that.
Huh.
The report said Biden should end a program that forced more than 60,000 migrants to wait in Mexico while their asylum cases wound. No, fuck you. Why should they be waiting here? They skip over Mexico because a lot of them are not Mexican. Remember that. They skip over Mexico to come here. They can hang out in Mexico for a little bit.
That is a hate fact.
Anathema.
Anathema.
Anathema? I will never say that word again.
I know. That's why I did correct you on it. You were close enough.
Yeah, I was close. You guys knew what I meant. You guys are spelling it. The task force stopped short of calling for immigration and customs enforcement to be abolished, as some in the party would have liked. Instead, the report recommends increased oversight of the immigration enforcement. There was no suggestion that unauthorized border crossings should be decriminalized and made a civil offense, a change Mr. Sanders has supported. It's also the one that Fidel Castro, what was his name? Julian Castro supported.
Oh, I thought you meant Justin Trudeau.
We just need to let people cross the border, and if they do, we'll give them a ticket that they won't pay.
Yeah, they'll ignore.
And then they steal somebody's identity, and you guys are like, identity theft is a problem in the U.S. But don't worry. When they steal your identity and they use it on a W-2, and they find out that there's a stolen one on a W-2, they won't be arrested because it's illegal to arrest somebody for using somebody else's social security number on a W-2 form.
Look, Monkey, the people whose identity got stolen should have to pay that as part of the redistributionist plan.
Yeah. I can't believe that's written into our fucking law.
Yeah.
Seriously. It's almost like they're trying to get illegals in here.
Oh, yeah. It's a plan. Tear it down. That's what they want to do.
Tear it down. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap up. I think I'm going to go try to get some sleep so that I can be up for Lady Monkey later. I will go over and watch a little bit more of Portland, see if anything's happening. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks for stopping by. Thank you so much for the donations. You guys are very kind. Jack, anything you want to show?
I'll drop a link to my last video in the chat. And, of course, thank you for the donations. It's good to see you guys out here all the time. We really do appreciate it.
Indeed. Tonight, there's no Lords of the Night, but we will be playing video games over on 2 Cents Plus. Probably at 7. I don't know if I can go any earlier than that. Satsu was asking if I could. I don't know. Keep an eye on Twitter to find out when we do go live. All links are below, guys. Don't forget to pick up a nice t-shirt from either Jack or myself. Links are down there with everything else. Thank you so much for watching. Jack, thanks for hanging out. Everybody, we'll see you next time. Have a good one.
Bye.
Susan, you can